Hey there, Stephanie Joy with all things Social Security and the law practice of Joy Disability. Here's a short little segment from our recent live stream Q&A that we have every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the YouTube channel, All Things Social Security. Enjoy, and if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments, and I will be sure to get to them. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.
Hi, guys. Favor, let me know if you can hear me. Should be fine, but I'd like to make sure. Can you hear me? How are you guys doing? How was the week? I see we have Kevin Johnson was first in the house. Hi, Kevin. From Morristown, Tennessee. George Graham, good to see you. Punta Gorda, Florida. Kathy from North Carolina. Nice to see you, Kathy, again. Matt F. I don't know if we've met. Hello from Virginia. Hello back at you from PA. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy says, y'all can hear me. So you know if you can't, it's on your side, not my side. Okay? For once, right? Elliot, as an advocate for the chronic pain community, I would also say, in that vein, we could do a video, Elliot. You know, if you have some, you know, probably, yeah, I mean, if that's something you do and you're actually out there and you kind of have spoken to maybe some experts and stuff, you know, in that field, that'd be something to share. I don't know. What do you think? Cold Man, RXP. Hi, Cold. I don't think we've met. Nice to meet you, and thank you for being here. This is Tasha. Right, Tasha? Yeah. Cold says, I am almost 63 and was approved in February. I'm very happy for you for SSDI. I have Meniere's disease, and my balance is so bad, I hardly ever even drive. Just wonder if I would ever be likely to get a CDR. Unlikely. I mean, unless you screw up and do something completely inappropriate. I don't think you're going to. I'm guessing they put you. Do you know what your diary is? I mean, if they put you on a 1-year diary, which I doubt with that condition, then yeah, you're probably going to get one. But they probably didn't. And if you don't see it in any paperwork, Cold, you can call your field office. It will not detract from your case or cause a CDR, guys. It will never do that to call and get your diary date. And the diary date, of course, sometimes it goes longer than that because, you know, they get other priorities. Okay. William S. Hello, William. I received a CDR about a month ago, and the printed CDR on the envelope freaked me out. Why? Hey, Kosher's in the house. Hey, I heard something about you, Kosher. From a fan of Walter's channel, said that you are an excellent moderator. So someone just gave you a big, huge, you know, kudos. I just wanted to share that with you. That was super sweet, I thought. Barbara Gillespie says, can you get back pay for survivor's benefits? Yes. Was denied disability 4 years ago, now found disabled as of 1 of 2020. Okay. You can get back pay for survivors, but it's going to stem from your date of application. So the extent of, you know, back benefits, like everything now with Title II, and certainly with Title 16, which is the SSI welfare part, there is limits to back benefits stemming from your date of application. Now, interestingly, before my time doing this, there was, I'm pretty sure it was before my time, I think there was not a back benefits limit. Imagine that, guys, filing 10 years later, proving you were disabled 10 years ago, and getting 10 years of back benefits. Oh my gosh, imagine that. That would be so amazing. I understand they have to do the statute of limitations, if you will. I do understand it. People need to poop or get off the pot. But just can you imagine what that must have been like? Ha! Wow. There would be a lot of wealthy people on disability. That would be so awesome, wouldn't it? Right? Yeah. So it's going to depend when you applied for survivor's benefits. And that was assuming after you were a survivor of somebody under whose record you would be eligible for. And when they find you disabled. You're not going to be able to go ever before any of those dates. It's going to be the latter, the date they find you disabled, minus the, you know what I mean? Like all those dates are going to be checkpoints, and you're going to get the last one once you meet it. That's going to be your date. Dimple says, I always smile when I say your name, Dimple, and as I drink your coffee. Who did you say to contact for concentration issues? That would be mental health, a counselor. I also saw a chiropractor earlier today, and she is sending me for x-rays with one of the hospital affiliates. Will have a perfect. That's good. Because while the chiropractor herself may not be an acceptable medical source like a orthopedist would be, the x-rays are being done by a professional in a hospital or any other diagnostic center where they're licensed to do it. And it's being read by a doctor, the radiologist, a specialist. So that's William S. says, inside the envelope on the short form. I was explaining why it freaked him out, right, William? Was a date in very large font. Was this a due date or a start? What did it say? I don't know, William. I have to see it. I received the letter one day before the printed date, which freaked me out again. Oh, so it's not clear. Sometimes, and this is going to make you even more confused, I have seen letters that I get that got here super fast for some reason, and they are post-dated. So I get it the day they sent it, and the envelope, well, it's not the day they sent it. The envelope says when they sent it, right? The postmark, but the postmark on the outside will be before the date on the inside letter. And that's been going on for years. I don't know why. Anyway, it's a short form, so that's a positive, William. Grab the positives. Look, Rocho's in the house with the pretty flower. Hello, everyone. Stephanie, happy to hear your all things Social Security. Oh, thank you for being here, LaRocho. It's always good to see you. Joel's in the house. Joel, have we met? I know there's been a Joel in here. Was that you? Or is it Joe L? I see a capital L. I think it's Joe and then L. Am I right? Hi, Stephanie. Any idea on the average time to hear back from SSA after submitted the signed application? It's been almost 2 months and SSA website still shows an application incomplete. Yeah, that's infuriating. So, I mean, I don't know why they're so slow. And they're like, they'll say it's it'll be done within 3 months. Really moved out of the field office to go to the medical workup office, 3 months. It should be less than a week. Period. End of story. Full stop. That is what it should be, unless you left something out that's important and they left you a phone message about it. My opinion, but I'm pretty stubborn with my opinion when it's firm like that. That's ridiculous. I had a recent issue. This was probably last week. It's been a couple months since we submitted representation documents on a person who's going to hearing. So they have to process that. And I think they did say, we know you have a representative so-and-so, but they never connected me to the electronic file. I think that's what that was. And so I am boom, 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 blasting them with resends. Get it together. In a pretty harsh language. I drafted a very harsh letter. I might have did I say this to you guys last week? Or maybe in a video. I feel like I was just talking about it. And I'm like, all right, from now on, I'm not tolerating it. When it's going to be approaching 2 months at the very least, that's when I'm going to be sending out the harsh letter and saying, if we don't see connection within 2 weeks, it is going to the congressman. Period. You guys can deal with. I'm sure they track how many congressional inquiries they get, and it doesn't make them look good. It's like a bad experience rating. So I'm gonna do it because it's only appropriate. Because it's just ridiculous. Another one, same thing. I sent one letter out, said the same thing, and this is all last week, and now I'm connected. So take the threat seriously because I'm contacting your congressperson or my client's congressperson. helping my client contact the congressperson. La Rocho's in the house. Yeah. You know, it's funny. You know, I always say she's talking about the traumatic experience 40 something years ago, guys. It was 1982, you know, totally been functional the whole time, but in a very maybe dysfunctional way when I was younger. I mean, got through school, you know, did everything you're supposed to do. But I always say it's not, the thing is horrible, right? It's the aftermath that drags on, you know, even if you're healthy about it, you know, the ripples. I see what it did to my parents, my wonderful parents who had a fabulous marriage with 3 daughters, now 2. They lasted 3 years. They couldn't grieve the same way. It was traumatic. And then, you know, some over the course of time with, you know, I won't even get into it, but I always say it's the wave after the boat, after the traumatic boat, you know, goes flying through and tears everything up, that it's like a forever ripple. You know, I just saw what it did to both my parents immediately and in the decades after. And it's just horrible. Oh, Dimple, it's birthday day. I'm officially 60 today, and I don't feel a day over 95. Oh, my God. You're too funny. Yeah, but you know what? You have a personality of a young, vibrant person. So I love that. I love that about you, Dimple. You always make me smile. Barbara Gillespie says, happy birthday, Dimple. Dimple says, thank you, Barbara. Kosher. Famous, infamous, depends on who's talking. Well, you're in good company here, so they thought it was fabulous. They said you did a bang-up job. Kathy Clayton says, does SSA send you for another consultative examination in the reconsideration stage? I have seen it, Kathy, but not often. Not often. They'll just rely on the old one. I have seen it. It's been very infrequent, though. But they will probably send you a function report. Oh, Dick is in the house. Hi, Dick. I know it's Roman numerals, but no. It's easier to say Dick. And plus, my dad was Dick Joy. What do you think of that name? Short for Richard. Okay. He says hello, and I say hello back. Little Nutty's in the house. Hi, Little Nutty. Have we met before? Ah, Little Nutty agrees, Kosher. Kosher is a very good moderator. It can get pretty crazy at Walters. Well, I imagine it could be. When you think about what's being discussed, I would think it would be, people would be flying off the handle. Wayne Corder. Hello, always enjoy your live stream. Have a great day. Thanks for showing up, Wayne. I appreciate you. It's Joe L. Good to see you, Joe. Joe. I gotta slow it down, right? Impossible. I always tell people, on your settings in YouTube, you can adjust the speed of the speaker. So I recommend everybody do that. That is not really used to fast talkers. I am used to fast talkers and obviously do it myself. So, so LSH, who is that? You might make an interesting guest of Stephanie's. Who is LSH? LSH? You know what would be a good speaker too? Good, you know, duo. I usually just have, you know, other, you know, like Jonathan or Shauna, but and those are great. But someone who, the only way I would feel kind of comfortable if it's someone who was not a beneficial. Well, we could do a pre-recorded. Maybe that would, you know, I would just be concerned that someone who is claiming benefits, either pending or has, that they might say something that could be misconstrued and hurt them. Now, if someone was a listing level of something, that's obviously not an issue because there's no RFC to deal with. So I'm thinking someone who's now tipped over into retirement, like 67, yeah, or is no longer on SSD for some other reason besides retirement. I don't know. Just a thought. Because it would be interesting to see what. Oh, ish. I see. Kosher. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you'd want to talk about, but if it's something, I'm just concerned about someone who's on disability because I don't know. I always think of, who could be watching. And it's not like doing it is indicative of being able to, for the vast majority of disabled people, indicative of being able to work on a sustained full-time basis. But I just always feel very protective of people in that way. Okay, I'm just scrolling down. Renee Killingworth. Okay. Renee says, my case was in reconsideration. I see DDS has finished my file and sent it to my local field offices to see if I still qualify for non-medical disability benefits. Does that mean I got approved? No, unfortunately it doesn't. It doesn't mean you were denied though. They send that to everybody. They say they're saying that they're doing that with everybody. Everyone gets that message, and it makes no sense because if you were denied, you shouldn't be getting a non-medical review. There is nothing to review. You have no claim. So it annoys me to no end. I've been babbling about this since 2023, and I would like them to fix it. Gina Frazier, I don't think we've met. Hi, Gina. Claiming mine plus spousal at 62. Okay. Spouse claimed it. Yeah, because if you claim yours, you are automatically deemed to claim a spousal and vice versa. I believe. Definitely if you claim a spousal, it's deemed to be a claim on your own work record. That changed under the Obama administration back in 2015 when they were trying to save money, so they took away that retirement saving strategy for seniors. It was pretty unfortunate. It used to be where you could, as a spouse turning 62, claim your spousal benefit and let your own work record continue to 67 or whatever your full retirement age is, and switch, letting yours thereby grow like a significant amount, like 50% greater. So you'd be collecting a smaller amount, and then you would be doing that if your own amount once it grew to 67 is better than your spousal amount at 62. And they took that away and said, nope, from now on, if you try to get spousal, it's going to be that you're claiming your own. So you're no longer delaying your own. I was reading at the time. I mean, at the time I wasn't doing this, obviously. But I was doing consulting for a corporation on the side and providing answers to people with questions. And it had been, I remember when I was reading up on it, the effect after, the married people on average lost $60,000 that they had planned to be in their retirement from that average. So I thought, and the bigger problem was they didn't give, it'd be one thing if they said, we're implementing this, it's a law now for everyone who is, it'll be in effect, let's say for those that are currently 55, but when they hit 62. At least have, and 55 is actually kind of old. I'm thinking maybe it should have been 50. But to hit them hard, there was no buffer. These people had no way to go back and save more. They didn't have an extra 7 years, like the younger people did. And at the time, so what was that? 12 years ago. Oh my God. Yes, I was in like my mid 40s or whatever. Plenty of time to make up for it once the rule changes, but not the people that are 61, right? They gave like, the people that will be 62 in 6 months will let you slide. I mean, it was so cruel. It was just cruel. It saves a ton of money. I get that they had to do it, but I just think I mean, you have to do things that are painful. I mean, I would have liked to have been able to do that. It took away from all of us. However, that's what the law has to do when it's over, you know, when the fund, you know, they have to make changes. I get that. But to not give a grandfathering of something reasonable for the people in their 50s or definitely late 50s. I mean, goodness. All right. I vent. My vent is over.